welcome back to the channel. I'm Cassie.
Hey, I'm Gary.
And today we're going to talk about some things that we have learned after getting into cattle on the homestead. So we're really excited to announce that we are doing this in a collaboration with the Mats. And so you are probably familiar with their channel. If you're not, you need to hop over there and subscribe, watch their videos, like their videos. We have really enjoyed getting to know them. They're from Mississippi, a family of 7, and they do so much on their farm, their homestead.
So we really enjoy watching the Macs. I know we've taken some advice from them on some corn, and enjoy watching the way that they raise their animals and the way they do their garden. So there's a lot of things to follow if you guys go check them out.
Yeah, so like I said, they have a ton of stuff. They got pigs and sheep and cattle, and they also have milking cattle. Is that what it's called?
They milk cows.
They have a huge garden and a greenhouse and chickens. So go check them out and tell them that Walker Farm Fam sent you. And make sure you subscribe, you hit that bell for notifications, you give them some thumbs up, and check out their videos.
So today we're going to be talking about 3 things that we've learned from getting cows here on the homestead. So some of you guys may be interested in getting cattle, and there are a few things that we think are pretty important to know that we've learned, and we want to share those with you. So we're going to go through the 3 things. We're going to let these cows get back to their normal cow cells and do whatever cows do whenever we're not here. So let's head out and go talk about the 3 things that we've learned from getting cows on the homestead. So one of the first things that we learned whenever we got into cattle was that fencing is very important. So we bought a piece of land that was leased land for several years, and our cattle started getting out. The first thing that we had to do when we got cattle was start replacing fencing. So we've built several fences, just like the one behind us right here, with metal H-braces and corners and 6 strands of barbed wire. We use that for our perimeter fence because that's the most important thing, is keeping the cattle inside our place, off of the road, outside of danger, and really just protecting them and protecting us. So the fencing is probably, the most important thing to consider if you're thinking about getting into cattle. Do you have land that can hold cattle? Is there adequate fencing? If you want to do some cross fencing for intensive grazing, you may be able to get away with 1 or 2 strands of electric fence. But for the outside fencing for cattle, we do recommend a really good fencing, and that's one of the things that we learned when we got into cattle. Another thing that goes along with fencing is having a place to take care of our cattle. So one thing that we learned is we would need something to be able to put them into a squeeze chute and a head gate if we need to doctor them or take care of them. We were able to pick this up on Craigslist, and it's not new by any means, but it does the job. And having this along with a set of working pins really does help us out a lot whenever we take care of the cows, whether it's sorting them off when it comes time to wean them, when it comes time to band a calf, or if we need to do some type of doctoring on the cattle. So these things are just things that you should probably think of ahead of time. That way when you get the cattle on your land, you get ready to take care of them, you have everything you need to do the job.
We've learned after getting into cattle is you need to think about how many acres you have and how many cows you plan to put on it. So you need to think about what would be best for the region that you live in and the type of land that you have. So pasture land is best when it comes to cattle so that they can graze and things like that. So we have 60 acres here and most of it is pasture land and part of it is a hayfield. But we can run up to 20 head of cattle year round. So you just want to think about that when you're thinking about getting into cattle. How many acres do I have? What type of land? Can I run cows on it and how many?
So one thing that we've learned from getting into cattle is that most likely if you live in a place where you have a winter climate, at some point you're going to have to move some hay. For us, we used round bales of hay. We were able to pick up a tractor on Craigslist for a good price, and we used that to move our hay around. You could also use a pickup truck with a hay spear or a hay bed, or maybe even just a big flatbed trailer to haul square bales of hay. But one way or another, you're probably going to have to move hay at some point with cattle. So it's just something to consider that you will need to get ahead of time. That way you know that whenever the winter time comes, you'll be ready.
We hope you enjoyed those 3 things that we have learned after getting cattle on the homestead. We have no idea what the Macs are going to put out and what they're going to say, so we're excited to see that along with you. So one thing that we have just loved about this YouTube homesteading community is learning from others. So go check out their stuff and just get probably a totally different perspective of how to do things than what we do.
Yeah, you'll most likely get a different perspective. They're in a different part of the country than us. They also milk cows. We only have beef cattle. So if you're interested in getting a milk cow at some point, they've probably got some helpful tips for you.
Yeah, so like I said, go check them out. And again, we love watching everybody's video on how they do things. What we have loved is they show you ways to do stuff, but then they say there's a million ways to do it. And so with everything we've added on our homestead, we have learned, watch 3 videos and you're going to get told 3 different things. We have always said, do what works best for you and use what you got. So head on over there, check them out, tell them we sent you. And thank you so much for watching. As always, have a great day and God bless.
Hit the notification Give thumbs up. And come and get it.
Come and look at this. He wants to show you guys something. Kids, you out here playing? Jump high. Did you get your gator stuck? And you're gonna get it out with that? All right, show us your trick. Whoa! Woohoo! Oh, let's be careful with those tricks. You don't look very stuck. All right, now try it.